I thought you might be recording already.
Well, don't mention anything weird.
Why?
Yeah, so, what was I going to say? Oh shit, I'm not even speaking into a mic.
So you are recording?
We are recording, Ellie.
Oh, you never tell me. I never know.
Hi everyone, this is the 2-Minute Terminator. It's episode 15. We're going from 28 minutes to 30. I'm Ethan McKinley, your host. And Ellie Fitzgerald is the other host. And we break down and dismantle the Terminator franchise 2 minutes at a time. Hit the music.
Hit the music.
You're not allowed to say it.
Why can't I say it?
Shut up.
Let me say it.
Watch out for machines, they're unstoppable. Watch out for machines, they will rule the world.
Right.
We're from minute 28 to 30.
Well, I was confused because I thought we actually saw this minute yesterday because we've been having Sarah in the psych evaluation for like the last 40 episodes. We're on episode 15. How that's happened, man.
Episode 15? Fucking hell.
This is episode 15, Ellie, yeah. As
We're
we saw.
half an hour into the movie.
Well, yesterday's episode was action-packed. We learned about Van Ling, didn't we?
We did.
And Scott Shaw.
Mr. Shaw, yeah.
If anyone wants to know, especially you, Ellie, because you don't check it, I posted on the 2-Minute Terminator page the very video diary that Van Ling kind of made that he sent to James Cameron of his like homemade aliens power loader, which got him a job working with James Cameron, and now he's a VFX supervisor for Lightstorm Entertainment.
That is pretty awesome. You should do the same, Ethan.
Yeah, I'll send my podcast to James Cameron.
Yeah, maybe don't.
Along with
maybe
my
just
suicide
maybe
note.
Just draw him a nice picture.
I hate my life.
So we're going from minute 28 to 30.
We are, and we're. It's essentially Sarah's psych evaluation with Dr. Silberman rejecting her pleas to kind of like at least see her son because she's had good behaviour for the last 6 months, and he just goes, "No, I'm just going to keep you in here. Fuck you, Sarah."
Why do you think he does that?
And it goes to the T-1000 walking through the Galleria in a slight distance shot as he walks across a kind of like gantry. I would say the Alabama Skywalk because that's obviously from Die Hard 2 in a scene featuring Robert Patrick, who a year before played a mercenary in Die Hard 2. We used to call it the Alabama Skydive, though.
Why?
It's actually none of those things, listeners. It's the Annex Skywalk. It's the thing that Bruce Willis has to kind of get to stop the terrorists from setting up an uplink satellite so they can start crashing planes. Everyone shits on Die Hard 2, but I think Die Hard 2 is great. Die Hard 2 is the kind of Temple of Doom of its trilogy.
I think I've only seen 4.
Yeah, that's right. There's only 3 Die Hard films. I don't care what anyone says. You can kiss my ass with Die Hard 4, Live Free or Die Harder or Die Hard.
Is that the one where he gets stuck in an elevator shaft?
Oh my god.
Which one's that? I remember that. He has to like go through this elevator shaft and he's in this massive building.
You know the same way I started like showing you Eddie Murphy films because you didn't know what Eddie Murphy was about, and you're like, oh, yeah. I get it now why he was such a big star. He's good. His films were good.
Yeah.
Same with Bruce Willis. You should reappraise and reevaluate and rewatch the Die Hard trilogy. Really good films.
Awesome. Okay.
But yeah, Die Hard 2 I think is really fantastic, and it's directed by Rennie Harlin, who did obviously The Long Kiss Goodnight with Gina Davis and stuff. And prior to that, listeners, and particularly Ellie, that year he directed another small comedy vehicle for a comedian called Andrew Dice Clay, and it was called The Adventures of Ford Fairlane.
Ford Fairlane, the greatest movie ever made.
Well, let's not go too far.
I love that film. Oh my god, it's so good. Dude, the other day you said that fucking Cocktail was the greatest film ever made.
Cocktail is the greatest film ever made.
It's not.
I'm sorry, that's one of Tom Cruise's top 3.
Ford Fairlane is so much better than Cocktail.
Ford Fairlane is so good, it's one of Tom Cruise's best films.
Oh god. Admit it though. The Adventures of Ford Fairlane is better than Cocktail.
Oh no, Cocktail. Cocktail is a seminal film for me. Not seminal as in seminal. When
I was
I
gonna
like,
say what?
as I fill my belly button with cum and then eat it over Tom Cruise's 1988 Cocktail Barman movie. No, it's a better film than.
Do you not find that it gets really like painful when like the semen dries to your skin and then like your hairs like get
Oh yeah,
caught
it's
in it?
like going for a wax. If you get it,
God.
if you get it in your fanny ladder, you're finished. It's the same way though with a girl squirts. You get that fucking. If you don't go for a shower afterwards, you get like the ammonia burning nappy rash sensation.
There was a doll when I was a kid that like I think they called her like Susie Burnpee, and it was like a baby doll that like had cystitis. It was so fucked up, man. It's like Baby Wee Wee. Did you ever see adverts for that? It was like this little boy, and he actually had like a proper defined, sculpted like penis and scrotum, like in baby form, and it pissed.
Did you have this toy?
No, I didn't. I didn't have
oh
those kind
dear.
of toys. I had a bike and a garden.
Ding dong.
Ding dong. Stop saying that, you fucking weirdo.
I'm trying to bring it back. For anyone that doesn't know, I guess if you're in England, you'll understand this, but like
I'm bringing it back.
about 10 or 11 years ago, men used to go, ding dong. It was in like adverts, commercials, promos on television. It was in TV shows. It was like one of those buzzwords, the same way women have gone totes amazing the last couple of years. Now that's gone away. Men used to go, ding dong. I suppose it's been taken from like... who's that cad actor from the 60s who was in School for Scoundrels with the gap in his teeth?
Oh,
Like,
God.
hello.
Terry Thomas.
Terry Thomas, yeah, not Leslie Phillips. He was kind of like a little bit like Terry Thomas, but not as caddish. But I'm sure...
Well, if you type in ding dong advert to Google, it comes up with Shreddies ding dong.
Oh, yeah? What year is the
Yeah.
advert, though?
2010.
That's probably too late, though.
Can I find anything else?
I can just find Ding Dong Bubble, which is a kid's cartoon. God knows what it is. I'm not going to play it. I'm scared.
I was gonna say that sounds a bit weird. Ding dong bubble commercial.
A 1970s commercial.
Hottest King Ding Dong, 1971.
All right, everyone, we're going to play the Ding Dong commercial for a British cereal brand called Shreddies. Bear with us.
Oh no, you should play this one. This looks
Here we
cool.
go. Here we go.
Okay, I'm excited.
Something wonderful has happened to Shreddies. The Nanas have created a splendid new Shreddies recipe. Improved beyond your wildest dreams. Shreddies that taste more temptingly scrumptious, crunchy, and yummy than ever before. What a transformation! It's a beautiful new dawn for Shreddies lovers.
Well, ding dong.
New recipe Shreddies, now tastier than ever.
Okay, my first question based on that advert.
Yeah.
Do you think the narrator of that advert was a black guy or a white guy?
Black.
I think he was a white guy.
Really?
Yeah.
Why? How and why?
It sounded like a white guy impersonating a black guy.
Dude, you have to type in Hostess King Ding Dong commercial 1971.
That's the hostess, as in the hostess who make Twinkies and things.
Yeah.
Okay. Fuck it. I've closed the goddamn page.
No, it looks really good. but
We
no
will
point
come
playing
to
it
more
'cause it's
stuff,
over, like-
by the way, guys. Wow, fuck me, they look good.
Are you looking at the puffy nipples again?
No, have you seen the actual ding-dong little hostess cakes that you can eat? Oh, wow.
Dude, that's the advert.
Okay, here's the
Don't
hostess
eat
ding-dong
knob cheese.
commercial. Don't give me a knob cheese.
Imagine getting into a chocolate-flavored boat and sailing around a fudgy moat to a chocolate-flavored castle.
It's anal sex.
King Ding Dong's castle. Ding Dong.
Have one.
Thanks, King Ding Dong.
When you eat a Hostess Ding Dong, there's a whole world of chocolate flavor in each and every bite.
Cream filling, too.
Delicious Hostess Ding Dongs. You'll find a chocolate-flavored world in every bite.
Wow.
Amazing.
Going down the Fudge River to see King Ding Dong.
Nice.
I have to say, what is it about 70s commercials? Because the old Fisher-Price toy commercials from the 70s, Americans, what is it about your TV commercials in the 70s that There were no realistic flesh tones. That was a Ding Dong Hostess Cakes commercial featuring chocolate, and it was pink and red. Now, is that because the I
Probably
guess
quality of
the negative
quality.
wasn't developed properly, or I don't know. Why isn't it brown?
BionicDisco.com. Wow, that sounds exciting. I love all those kind of weird old adverts.
Hello
Oh, do you know
there,
what?
young
I used to
man.
love the RY.
Shut up!
That was always good.
Ding dong, don't you see him? No. But the hostess ding dong.
To kids, I'm just as real as the good taste of that chocolatey icing and creamy filling.
Try one, Mom. Now do you see him?
I think so, Jimmy.
Hostess Ding Dongs, fruit pies and Twinkies. With Hostess, tasting is believing.
So basically, that was a 6-year-old boy getting a ding dong forced into his mouth. Ah, the
Exactly.
innocent 70s.
It tastes like chocolate and cream.
Oh shit, that might have just registered on the
This is fucking
mic.
awesome. There's like another there's vintage commercial 1960s and 70s cereal and beverages adverts, but obviously we can't play that now because we're meant to be talking about Terminator.
We are. We'll come back. So I like our little digressions. We're going to hopefully turn this into a Vice magazine radio show if Ellie can start doing a fucking blog.
Yeah, blog hog.
Blog hog, that's
what it
it.
should be called.
Yeah, there you go.
Blog hog. Awesome, and get a little piggy sign. God, why has Piggy followed me throughout my life? So many different people from like different places and different times have ended up calling me Piggy.
I know, two of my ex-girlfriends called me Piggy.
It's weird, man.
Well,
Like,
one
I
called me
just can't seem to
Pigface,
shake it.
and the other one called me Pig.
Who called you Pigface?
Cyrita, who was like a Bayesian, half Indian chick. See, I'm equal opportunities. I've got no pussy racism. There's not a one bone in my body.
And who called you Piggy?
Olivia, lovely girl, dancer, but sadly I betrayed her, I guess, with Sophie and etc.
Did you actually?
Well, not really betray. I was more like Olivia's friend, really, but I think, as they all do, they always want more, and when you can't give that, they kind of turn on you. So I was a bit distant. In my defence, though, she was a dancer, a disaster, a dancer, and she kind of like kept going off around the world on cruises and stuff to be a dancer. So it's like it could never really be.
Yeah.
The same way Sundal, who deny it to this day and still doesn't speak to me, the Indian supermodel, was like, "Hey man, we should start spending more time together. I want to be with you." After like a summer of being berated by her because I was kind of a punch bag for a boyfriend breakup drama, and then like just before I leave for Los Angeles and she's about to leave for India, she's like, "Hey, we should start going out properly." I'm like, "How's that gonna work? We're both leaving to the other side of the planet." I never spoke to her again. Not from me wanting to talk to her. She just won't reply to any of my fucking emails or Facebooks. Oh shit, man! I'm divulging too much. Now it's happening to me.
It makes you very human, Ethan.
Human. I'm just trying to fill some air because we've been knocking out really good 30-minute episodes, and the last 3 have been like 22 minutes. Shocking.
Yeah, but dude, it's not about quantity; it's quality.
Yeah. Well, so far we've talked about
Question.
boys with ding dongs in the fucking mouth, and not talked about the 2-minute Terminator. So back to the show.
Yeah, my question.
Yes.
What did Sarah think she was going to achieve by launching herself at Silverman? He only gave her 6 months.
Yeah, but
I know she's been in there forever.
yeah, but there's been a prior meeting clearly leading up to that point where that was her 6-month evaluation. And that was it. You know what? He just keeps her in there and like sees her every few months.
Extending it?
Because he's a smarmy git.
Yeah, but that's fucked up, man. He deserves it.
Well, it is, but I'm sure many people in positions of power in the mental health world do that.
It's like you always find that people that work with children never actually have children themselves.
Yeah. And now it's all come out in the wash. We've discovered that lots of people who work either in the church or day nurseries or daycare or child protective services have turned out to be paedophiles. Nonsense. See, I know that's a sweeping statement, and everyone listening this is like, "My dad works there and he doesn't touch kids." How do you know, Jimmy? How do you know?
Daddy said he only touched me.
You blocked it out.
Let out the pain.
Would you like a fact attack? As my soul is... Ooh, there we go. The bike scenes where Arnold is tooling around the streets of Los Angeles were shot in Northridge, overlooking the flood control channel. In Los Angeles, there's lots of flood control channels, basically.
Why do those cars crash into each other? Arnie wasn't going that fast. It's not like he was fucking doing.
Or was that close to them? Well, I think it's a special lens that's made the cars actually look closer. Apparently, the cars are actually miles away from him. Not miles away, but like a safe distance. And he just does a turn in the road, not going that fast. And then the stuntmen obviously crash. But it's meant to look like he doesn't give a fuck. You know, whatever.
I can give a fuck, mate.
Yeah, there was when Arnold when Arnold sees John and zooms in on him and does that turn in the road. Basically, it's a camera trick with a special camera lens that makes Arnold look closer to the action that he actually is. I wrote that down. There we go.
Way, you can write? Fuck me, dude. At some point, you should turn the volume up if you're actually watching it on the pew 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 sounds, because we actually have them when John and his ginger mullet friend are in the arcade and they're playing, like, what is it, Space Invaders or something?
No, it's quite pertinent. It should be for the next. It should really be for the next episode, but I'll tell you what he's actually playing.
Because it's in this episode.
You know what? You're absolutely right.
Exactly.
So
yeah, we should turn it up when that happens. At some point, you should just loop that, and every time there's a fact attack.
Okay, well,
do
you want to know what game it is?
Please.
The game John is playing, and I'm sure fucking anyone with half a brain knows this if you're a boy. The fact attack is. Oh, nice, mixing it up. Oh, sorry if audio blip.
Was that a snub nose Uzi? Yes, I think it was.
No, John is actually playing Missile Command, which is actually the player. It's an Atari game from 1980. And it's actually about preventing nuclear missiles hitting your borders, basically. So,
how apt.
On the actual video game, the lines are heading towards targets, and you have to set off an explosion that intercepts that line and stops the nuclear bomb from going off. So those lines essentially fly into explosions that you set up that destroys the bomb or the missile. I don't know how that fucking works in the real world, but there we go. But if you mistime it or you plant your proximity bomb too early, it goes off too early or too late. Obviously the missile carries on and hits its target, and you've started a nuclear war. So obviously it's a quite apt game to be in, because this is obviously what they're battling against and how the world ends.
Nuclear war.
You see? So there we go, yeah,
James,
Missile Command by Atari. What?
Atari, that's fucking old, dude.
Yeah.
It's real old, man. Did you ever have one?
An Atari? Yes, I did, with the wood panelling around the outside.
Whoa! Do you still have it?
No, I don't, Ellie, because it was 35 years ago.
Yeah, but you could probably sell that as like an antique now. You get some geek or some nerd out there who probably pay a lot of money.
Yeah, no, this is how old I am. I even had a fucking Binatone game, which is like literally had 4 games in it. The console had like 4 games, and it was literally Pong and Tanks and something else.
Did you ever play Minesweeper?
No.
That was fucking terrifying. You'd have to like place like a certain amount of like, it was like a square grid, and you'd have to put like markers down. And they'd have all these mines, and you'd have to work out where the mines were. And obviously, if you stepped on one, you exploded. It was really fucking tough, but it was kind of like a proper use your brain game.
I see.
So you probably wouldn't be very good at it. Hand-eye coordination and all that jazz. You need 2 parents around to kind of really nail that down. But another question for you.
Shoot.
Shoot. The woman that we've already kind of agreed is like a trainee. How come she's the one that runs in to sedate Sarah? Surely that's pretty like...
Who's the trainee? What do you mean?
You know the woman that when we first see Sarah and they're looking at her in her little like fucking rabbit hutch.
The blonde lady in the glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, they're just kind of trainees and he's showing them around.
Anna Merrim, who's Arnold Schwarzenegger's assistant, or was at the time,
yes.
and appeared in a few Schwarzenegger movies.
When Sarah loses her shit and goes for Silberman's jugular, they all run in, and fucking Arnie's assistant runs in with like the sedation needle,
She doesn't go for the juggler. She tries to grab both his collars with opposite hands in a kind of like a gi, what you would in jiu-jitsu, to throttle him.
Suggesting she's a warrior.
Suggesting she's a warrior. And just to go back to your original point, I don't think Silverman sees her that much. He goes in for a psych evaluation and just keeps her in there. So she's been there for quite some time. And what has she got to lose at that point? If he's going to keep her in there for another 6 months, and obviously she knows what's going on now. She's never, ever going to get out. That's what prompts her to actually escape then. She just knows he's just going to keep her in there fucking forever. So it doesn't actually hurt to do anything to strangle him, because what's the worst that could happen?
What's the whopping worst? Yeah, true. But yeah, how come they'd send in someone that was like a trainee or was learning or shadowing to sedate this crazy ass bitch? Talk about throwing them in the deep end.
Well, maybe she's a qualified medical professional, but they're just being shown around because they're like new staff that are taking over. Maybe, I don't know.
I just thought that.
Or you know what? Maybe they're like some kind of like governing body from the local state, from the state, and like she's his like prize possession, and he's like showing them like her, and they're going through the case because it's like an elaborate case that she thinks a machine, which looks human, of course, come from the future to kill her son, who's the future leader of the resistance.
Yeah.
Because he did say like about Reese in the first one, hey, I could make a fortune with this guy.
Yeah.
He truly believes everything he's saying.
Yeah, that's probably why he wants to keep Sarah. Maybe
so yeah, Sarah's basically a best-selling book to him.
Bribe.
Yeah. And the intonation, of course, is she's been sexually abused by the guards, which I guess is there. So
happens everywhere.
Happens everywhere.
Have you noticed that when Arnold Schwarzenegger cycles into the underground like parking lot,
there are other cars in the parking lot?
Yeah.
It's uncanny.
Have you seen the guy? Fuck you. Have you seen the guy in the background who's getting into his car? He looks so suspicious. He opens his car door, puts his hand in like behind his seat, and then like takes a look around. He looks well dodged.
I've not seen it, but I'll try and look at it when it comes through again.
Check it out when it comes through.
I've just paused the clip because I'm just stealing a screen grab.
He just looks a little bit suspicious. Maybe he's just stolen something from the mall. Why is it called a mall? Shopping centre makes sense because it's like a centre and you do your shopping in it. But what the fuck? Where did mall come from?
Actually, Sophie, the casting director, said that last week. She's like, why are you calling it a mall? Because I walked through the mall with her. I was like, should we go through the mall? She's like, you're so American. I was like, why? What do you call it? She's like, shopping centre. I was like, all right. I thought they called malls as well.
Yeah, but where's mall come from? I thought if you mauled something, I know it's a different spelling, but...
No, that's maul as in like an animal mauled you, like I was mauled by a lion, or Darth Maul.
Darth Maul.
Who died far too early in the Star Wars trilogy. Thanks, George.
And how did he die?
George Lucas, I think he died inside when all the fans rejected his version of Star Wars.
Oh dear.
He probably had that plan for ages. He wrote it. He tried to direct it because he hadn't directed a film for so many years. I think that was quite evident in its pacing and the way it was made. Jar Jar Binks obviously was a disaster.
We get to see Arnold Schwarzenegger. Sorry, because I'm watching it as I'm talking to you. We get to see the first kind of like iconic symbolism where you've got Arnold Schwarzenegger walking through the mall, holding the box of roses, which indeed
is that iconic?
We'll find out. Of course it is. Guns N' Roses.
The girl in that classic moment when she's like, I think I went to the Galleria.
One of the little street urchins.
Yeah, that's an actress called Nikki Cox, and she was from a famous TV show at the time called Punky Brewster.
You're so cool, Brewster.
I think it was Punky Brewster anyway. Hang on, let's just go back. Let's go through this glittering career. She started in 1988 with Mama's Family. Oh, she's a dancer in Mac and Me. Have you ever seen Mac and Me, Ellie?
No.
You never heard of it?
Never.
Okay, 1988, Mac and Me came out on the Vestron label in England. But Mac and Me was literally a boy meets an alien, a mysterious alien creature called Mac. Mysterious alien creature, it's an acronym, Mac.
Mac!
Not Mac from Predator. Not the blackest man in showbiz, Bill Duke.
The hairless fucking man.
With his pickaninny staring eyes.
I know how
I want to have me some watermelon. Oh my god.
Mac and me.
Yeah. Basically, it's trying to escape from NASA and it befriends a young boy. But the only thing that keeps this alien alive, get this, is eating McDonald's.
Oh my god.
So
That's
it's like
good,
it's the worst
good
product
thing to send
placement
out to
in
kids.
fucking movie history. And it grossed $6 million. It came out on August 12th, 1988. I saw it when I was obviously a younger boy.
What's that got to do with this young lady at the side of the road?
Well, Nikki Cox was in Mac and Me. She was then in Moonwalker. She was a dancer in Moonwalker in the segment Badder. So I think she was a child dancer, basically.
Okay.
She's in The
Sounds
Purple
erotic.
People Eater. She was very busy in 1988, let me tell you.
Very busy.
Ned Beatty was the lead.
These girls on the street look like they could be in a music video with Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. They've got those kind of like puffer jackets on.
Actually, you know what? There's a good film, or I used to remember it being a good film, called Judgment Night. And it's Stephen Dorff, who's obviously Deacon Frost in Blade, Cuba Gooding Jr., Jeremy Piven, who's in now Mr. Selfridge, who's had his hair restored, and Dennis Leary as the bad guy. They witness like a murder or a drug killing, and then they're like chased all through the night. But it's kind of in real time. It's a little bit like Into the Night. If Into the Night, listeners, is one of my favourite films. I can't justifiably explain why.
But you can watch it again and again and again.
But yeah, it's my kind of like, what shall I do? There's nothing to do. And I'll put Into the Night on. It's a really calming, relaxing film. I have no idea why. I can't think of any justifiable reason why it's good. It's a John Landis film. It's made in 1985. It's got Jeff Goldblum and Michelle Pfeiffer, who are on the run from like these like evil diamond dealing Middle Eastern characters, one of which played by
David Bowie?
John Landis. No, David Bowie's in it as an assassin who works for one of the people trying to get the diamonds for stones.
And is the inspiration of the acting style of David Brent in The Office?
Yeah, anyone, Google. I'll put it on the Terminator page as well. But if you watch David Bowie's like cameo in Into the Night, his mannerisms and reactions and acting style is exactly like spot on. Exactly like Ricky Gervais. Not in The Office, in everything. But that kind of like uncomfortable smile he does, and that kind of like head bob and look away and then back, you know, that's exactly what.
Yeah, but that's David Brent.
No, but that's what that's what David Bowie does, isn't it?
Yeah.
Beat for beat, that's exactly what he does. Basically, Jeff Goldblum's wife is having an affair. He can't sleep, and he just goes for a night drive because his life's a mess. It's a little bit like me, actually. Maybe that's why I like this film. And he bumps into Michelle Pfeiffer, and they get taken on this like roller coaster, set in one night kind of movie. It's kind of amazing. I really like films like that. It's a little bit like 1985. Is it 85 or 86? After Hours with Griffin Dunn, who was like Jack, who got killed by the werewolf in American Werewolf. That's a real time movie.
It's a real damn movie, man. Anything else you want to add about this?
Oh yes, yeah, just add it away. Judgment Night is the other film that's a bit like real time, so I like it as well. But yeah, basically this chick was in Blossom. She was in Boy Meets World. She wasn't at all in Punky Brewster. That was a big fat lie. Punky Brewster is in fact someone else. I apologise. General Hospital Sister, The Drew Carey Show. Nikki, she got her own namesake series. So yeah, she's done right for herself. The last thing she did was A Christmas Wedding Tale in 2011.
What's A Christmas Wedding Tale?
A TV movie. But yeah, she looks kind of cute. I think she's married to Jay Moore, the American stand-up comedian.
Oh.
But yeah, anyone watching this clip, she's the guy that goes, I think he went to the Galleria. Yeah, the Galleria.
Yeah, the Galleria.
And then the T-1000 goes, the Galleria?
Yeah, he looks a bit weird in that scene. I wouldn't trust him. Mm-mm. Pew, 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 pew. Turn it up. You're about to have the pew, 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 pew soon. No?
What?
I thought you were going to be able to play the sound clip of the video game. So
Are we doing that?
Oh, I thought you were going to.
No, I can do though.
I think you should.
Okay. I'm going to say fact attack. Don't say a word.
Okay.
Oh shit.
Suspense.
Fact attack. There we go.
Yeah. Now you've got to give us a fact though.
Okay. I'm out of facts.
Fact.
Oh, we're filling dead air. I love it.
Oh, well, I was just enjoying the merriment of that moment.
All right. Well,
Just
all right. Here's
just
your
living
fact.
in the
Sorry. Here's your
moment.
fact. The mall is in Santa Monica. Is Santa Monica Place? That's the name of the mall. I assume it's in Santa Monica. Santa Monica Place is the mall, but I don't think it's there anymore.
Oh, no. Where's this long stretch of tunnel that the boys are driving down on their bike?
Well, I did mention this earlier in the clip, Ellie. It's one of the LA storm rivers, one of the LA river channels, basically. If there's
When are they full?
well, all the water that Los Angeles gets is redirected from the Colorado River.
Okay.
So really, Los Angeles shouldn't really exist because there's no water there. It's a fucking desert. They redirected the Colorado River many years ago.
I didn't know that at all.
Yeah, and it doesn't have its own water. All the water is stolen from Colorado, so it's redirected. And these storm drains are usually when they're like, they pump water into the city, or there's like a heavy rainfall, which is maybe once or twice a year in LA.
Yeah.
And these water channels obviously take care of that. But they've been featured in many movies. It's Nicolas Cage escapes a helicopter in Gone in 60 Seconds. The amazing finishing credit sequence of Buckaroo Banzai Across the Eighth Dimension, written by W.D. Richter, who wrote Big Trouble in Little China. It's Jeff Goldblum and Ellen Burstyn, walking through this storm drain in all these wacky outfits. It's pretty amazing.
Awesome.
It's one of the most infectious theme tunes ever as well. I'll put it on the Terminator page.
Hum it.
Oh, forget it.
Yeah, you're right. It's infectious.
Have you got anything you want to add, Ellie? Have I kept cutting you off at the knee constantly?
Well, someone's got to. No, I think I've pretty much covered everything. I've been watching this loop like over and over and over and over and over again, and I simply couldn't add anything more.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you're done.
I'm literally done. Although it's very obvious that it's... Actually, you said that John Connor, that chick that was in the bar at the beginning of the movie, is like the stunt double for when he's on the bike. And then you see him driving along from a distance away, and he's going, not ridiculously fast, but he's going quite fast, and it's John Connor.
Yeah.
It's, yeah, but I thought you said that he wouldn't have done any of those shots. And it would be all that female stunt double.
Oh, yeah, no, totally.
You haven't a clue what I'm saying.
No.
He's lost in the world of music.
It's like the best end credit sequence ever for a movie.
I think my ears are actually bleeding.
How dare you?
Okay, now it sounds better. It's gone a bit synthy.
I'm going to put it on your Facebook page, and then I'm going to put it on the 2-Minute Terminator page actually right now. And
Right now, live.
fact. No, I'll put it on your
John,
Facebook
we
page. There we go.
haven't seen the picture yet.
Huh?
I'm reaching out to John and asking him where this picture is.
John, send no picture. She doesn't deserve one.
What?
Actually, if you play the Buckaroo Banzai tune while you're watching Terminator clips, it's really funny.
Yeah, it is. Watching Sarah struggling to this, being pinned to a table.
Anyway, that was
Terminator in a brand new light.
that was the 2-Minute Terminator episode 15. This was Buckaroo Banzai's leaving theme tune. Thank you all for listening. We shall return in 10 minutes with another episode because yes, we're making Ellie do another one. Yeah, thanks for listening. Hasta la vista. Annoying, isn't it? Bye.
Watch out for machines, they're unstoppable. Watch out for machines, they will go